You owe it to you, not to your friends, not to your parents, not to society, not to people who doubted you, but to the person who wakes up every morning and looks back at you in the mirror. There comes a moment in life when you must stop living for approval and start living for progress. A moment when you stop asking for permission and start giving yourself power. See, most people spend their life waiting for confidence, waiting for the right time, waiting for someone to believe in them. But waiting is how dreams die. Like Tony Robbins says, if you want your life to change, you must change. If you want things to get better, you must get better. But you don't owe explanations for your journey. You don't owe apologies for growing. You don't owe comfort to people who never supported you when you were broken. But you do owe yourself something. You owe yourself discipline. You owe yourself consistency. You owe yourself the life you dreamed about, because nobody is coming to push you. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to hand you success. It's on you. When the world looks at you and says, you're not enough, you owe yourself the courage to answer, I am Marte Tanino. When life knocks you down, when you lose people, when doors close, you owe yourself the strength to stand back up and say, this is not how my story ends. And listen, you don't need everyone to understand your path. You just need one person, you. Every sacrifice you've made, every silent cry, every night you went to bed asking God, why is this happening to me? It wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Denzel Washington said something powerful. When God is about to give you something big, he will test you. He will shake your life. Not to break you, but to build you. You owe it to yourself to not give up during the test. You owe it to yourself to wake up with purpose, to speak life into your dreams, to work even when nobody claps for you. Because one day, the same people who ignored your potential will ask how you did it. And you will look back and say, I didn't do it for approval. I didn't do it for attention. I did because I owed it to myself. So today, stand up, fight for your future, protect your peace, discipline your mind, believe in your destiny, because the world may doubt you, people may judge you, life may challenge you, but you owe it to you to become everything you were born to be. Most people spend their entire lives trying to be liked, trying to fit in, trying to impress people who don't even care, who don't even notice, who would not show up if everything fell apart tomorrow. We grow up trained to chase approval. Parents want us to follow a safe path. Society wants us to fit into a box. And friends expect us to act a certain way so we don't look different. But you were not born to blend in. You were born to stand out. Every time you change yourself to make others comfortable, a piece of your spirit gets smaller. Every time you silence your dreams to avoid being judged, your heart gets heavier. You lose yourself while trying to please people who will forget you the moment you stop benefiting them. There is nothing more exhausting than pretending. Pretending to be happy so people think your life is perfect. Pretending to be confident so people don't see your fears. Pretending to agree so nobody gets offended. But here is the truth. Approval is a drug. The more you chase it, the weaker you become. You start shaping your life based on opinions instead of purpose. You stop asking, what do I want? And start asking, what will they think? And that question destroys more dreams than failure ever will. If you build your identity based on applause, you will fall apart the moment the clapping stops. If people validate you today, they can destroy you tomorrow. But when you validate yourself, nobody can control your worth. Tony Robbins says, your life changes the moment you make a new decision. So decide that your value no longer depends on someone else's approval. Decide to be the kind of person who wakes up every day and chooses authenticity over acceptance. Decide to love yourself without needing permission. The people who judge you are not living your life. They don't pay your bills. They don't fight your battles. They don't lie awake at night wondering how to make it all work. They don't carry your pain. And if they don't live your life, why should their opinion control it? The truth is, no matter what you do, someone will always talk. If you fail, they will gossip. If you succeed, they will hate. So why waste your energy trying to please people who will never be satisfied? Stop shrinking to fit into places you have outgrown. Stop letting fear of judgment from speaking, trying, dreaming, building. Silence their voices and listen to your own. Because the moment you stop seeking approval, you become dangerous, you become free, you become unstoppable. When you start living for purpose, not popularity, everything changes. You think differently, move differently, and act with confidence. You start taking risks. You start building the life you actually want, not the life someone else expects. And here is the most powerful part. Once you stop needing approval, you finally attract the right people. People who respect your boundaries. People who celebrate your differences. People who support your growth instead of feeling threatened by it. The world makes room for those who refuse to be controlled by opinions. The universe opens doors for those courageous enough to follow their own path. One day, you will look back and realize that the crowd you were trying to impress never mattered. That the opinions you were scared of were temporary. That the people who judged you have their own insecurities they never fixed. But you chose yourself. You chose truth. You chose growth. And that is what creates a meaningful life. Stop living for approval. Stop handing your power to people who didn't earn it. You don't need permission to be great. You don't need validation to believe in yourself. You don't need applause to know your worth. Live boldly, speak honestly, dream fearlessly, and walk your path without apology. You were not born to be liked. You were born to be real. There comes a moment in life when you realize that nobody is coming to rescue you. No one is coming to wake you up in the morning, tell you to work harder, believe in your dream, or drag you across the finish line. Success is not handed out, it is earned. It is built through discipline, sacrifice, and decisions no one sees. The world is full of people who want success, who dream of success, who talk about success, but very few who take responsibility for creating it. And the truth is, the difference between the person who makes it and the person who doesn't is simple. One takes ownership, the other makes excuses. You have goals, dreams, visions for your life, but they mean nothing without action. You can pray for change, you can hope for a breakthrough. But if you don't move your feet, nothing will move in your life. Life has a simple rule: you get what you work for, not what you wish for. Most people are waiting. Waiting for luck, waiting for motivation, waiting for the right time. But waiting is the enemy. The right time is now. The opportunity is this moment. Success begins the second you stop blaming and start building. It is easy to point fingers. Easy to say you didn't have support, you didn't have money, you didn't have the right environment. But the world is full of people who started with nothing and still made it. They didn't wait for perfect conditions. They created them. They took responsibility for their future when they had every excuse to quit. And that is what separates winners from everyone else. The day you realize that your life is in your hands is the day everything changes. You can't control the past, and you can't control what others do. But you can control your attitude. You can control your effort. You can control how hard you fight for your dream. Success is not about talent. It's about consistency. It's about showing up on the days you're tired, the days you doubt yourself, the days you feel invisible. It's about working in silence when no one believes in you yet. It's about building the kind of discipline that turns habits into results. Tony Robbins always says, it's not the resources, it's your resourcefulness. That means your real power is not what you have, but what you do with what you have. You may not be the smartest, the fastest, or the strongest, but if you refuse to give up, you can't lose. Some people will never understand how much success requires. They'll say you changed. They'll say you're selfish. They'll say you're obsessed. But they don't see the hours you spent working while they were sleeping. They don't see the sacrifices you made, the failures you survived, the battles you fought inside your own mind. Success demands a version of you that is stronger than your excuses, more disciplined than your distractions, and more committed than your fears. You are responsible for what you become. If you want a powerful life, build powerful habits. If you want a strong future, don't waste time on weak decisions. If you want respect, you must respect yourself first, your time, your energy, your vision. The world doesn't reward intentions, it rewards results. And results come from daily effort. Small steps repeated with consistency create massive transformation. One day, the people who doubted you will ask how you did it. And you will remember every moment you pushed yourself when no one was watching. No one watching. Every moment you kept going when you could have quit. You will remember that success was not given, it was earned. And you earned it because you took responsibility for your journey. No excuses, no blaming, no waiting. Just action, effort, and belief. Your life is your choice. Your success is your responsibility. And the moment you accept that, nothing and no one can stop you. There are people who say they love themselves, but their habits prove otherwise. They talk about goals, but never work for them. They talk about change, but keep repeating the same actions that are destroying their future. Real self-respect is not how good you look, how many followers you have, or how confident you pretend to be in front of others. Real self-respect is discipline. It is waking up every day and doing what your future needs, not what your comfort wants. It's saying no when everyone else says yes. It's choosing to work when your body is tired and your mind is screaming to quit. Discipline isn't easy, but it is the strongest form of self-love because it means you care about who you will become. Anyone can be motivated for a day. Anyone can feel inspired after watching a video or hearing a speech. But discipline is what remains when motivation fades. Discipline is showing up when nobody claps for you. Discipline is studying when you'd rather sleep, training when everyone else is relaxing, practicing your craft when nobody is watching. People think success is glamorous, but real success is built in silence, in sweat, in lonely nights and early mornings. Discipline is what separates those who try from those who triumph. You do not respect yourself when you break promises you make to yourself. Every time you say you will wake up early and don't, every time you say you will stop wasting time and yet spend hours scrolling, every time you set a goal and ignore it, you teach your mind that your words do not matter. You damage your own trust. But when you decide to be disciplined, you build a different relationship with yourself. You prove you can depend on you. You prove that what you say you will do. That is power. That is self-respect. Discipline is freedom. It sounds strange, but it's true. When you are disciplined with money, you earn financial freedom. When you are disciplined in your health, you earn energy and confidence. When you are disciplined in your goals, you earn opportunities others can only dream about. The world opens doors for people who can control themselves. Look around, every champion, every leader, every master of their craft has discipline. Talent starts the journey, but discipline finishes it. Talent is a gift, but discipline is a choice. And the beautiful thing is, discipline is not something you're born with. It is something you build. You build it in small decisions, getting out of bed when the alarm rings, choosing the book instead of the phone, working one more hour when your mind wants a break. Every time you choose discipline, you become stronger. Every time you choose excuses, you become weaker. People think successful individuals have some magical power, but they just have habits that protect their success. They choose what they want most over what they want right now. Your future is watching the decisions you make today. Your dreams are waiting for you to take them seriously. And the truth is, the universe rewards consistency more than intensity. You don't have to do everything at once. You just have to show up every single day. Discipline is not loud. It is quiet, steady, and focused. It is built in the small moments. Turning off distractions, saying no to temptation, listening to that inner voice that says, keep going. One day, all those sacrifices will make sense. One day, you will look in the mirror and see the person you always wanted to become. Not because of luck, not because someone saved you, but because you respected yourself enough to put in the work. That feeling, that pride is priceless. Discipline is simply proving to yourself that you deserve the life you dream of. It is the greatest form of self-respect, and it will change everything. Pain is one of the greatest teachers life will ever send your way. When you are hurting, when life feels heavy, when everything seems to be falling apart, it is easy to believe you are being punished. It is easy to think God forgot about you, that fate has turned against you, that life is unfair. But what looks like punishment is often preparation. Every struggle, every heartbreak, every failure is shaping you into a stronger version of yourself. You don't grow in comfort. You don't discover your strength when everything is easy. You discover who you truly are when everything feels impossible, and you keep going anyway. There are moments when you ask, why me? Why is this happening? Why is life so difficult? But the real question is, what is this teaching me? Greatness is not built in victory, it is built in adversity. Diamonds are created under pressure. Muscles grow by resistance. Trees grow stronger when winds try to knock them down. Life works the same way. Your pain is not here to destroy you, it is here to develop you. It is building patience, discipline, courage, resilience, and wisdom. The very things you need for the future you asked for. Sometimes the things you lose are not a punishment, they are protection. That person who walked away, that opportunity that slipped out of your hands, that door that closed, it hurt, but it also saved you. If it was meant for your destiny, it would have stayed. What leaves your life is not meant to break you. It is clearing space for something greater. Every delay has a purpose. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. The storm you're facing today is preparing the strength you will need tomorrow. When you go through pain, you learn to appreciate peace. When you feel alone, you learn to rely on yourself. When people betray you, you learn who deserves a place in your future. When life knocks you down, you learn how to get back up. Stronger, smarter, and more focused. The lessons you gain during your hardest moments are the lessons that turn ordinary people into powerful ones. That is why the most successful, most inspiring, most courageous people in the world all share one thing: they suffered first. Success rarely begins with comfort, it begins with struggle. Pain introduces you to your power. It forces you to grow in ways you never planned. When your heart is broken, you learn what love truly means. When you lose everything, you learn what truly matters. When you are rejected, you learn your worth. Life does not break you to destroy you. It breaks you to rebuild you. Like a seed that must be buried before it grows, you may feel covered, pressured, and forgotten. But underground is where growth begins. There will be days when you cry, days when you feel weak, days when you want to quit. But what you don't see is that every tear is watering your future. Every struggle is shaping the person you are becoming. One day, you will look back at the pain and realize it was necessary. You will realize you were being prepared for blessings bigger than you prayed for. You will see that you were never being punished. You were being prepared. And when that moment comes, when the pieces fall together, when the chapter finally makes sense, you will understand that the pain was not wasted. It built you. It matured you. It strengthened you. Your pain is part of your story, but it is not the ending. You are not done. You are not defeated. You are being shaped into someone powerful, someone wiser, someone unbreakable. One day you will thank the pain for turning you into the person you were always meant to be. You don't need the world to believe in you. You don't need your friends to clap for you, your family to understand you, or society to approve of you. People will question you, doubt you, underestimate you, and ignore you until the day you succeed. And the moment you do, those same people will ask how you did it. That's why belief must begin inside your own mind, not in the minds of others. If you wait for everyone to support you, you will wait forever. Most people can't see past their own fears, their own limits, their own insecurities. They judge your dreams through the smallness of their own vision. Their doubt is not about you. It's about them. And you cannot let their disbelief become your prison. Some people will never believe in you no matter how much you probe, and some will believe in you even when you have nothing to show. The difference is that the ones who believe in you are rare, but the one person who must believe in you is you. Because if you believe in yourself, nothing can stop you. But if you don't believe in yourself, nothing can save you. Every dream that ever came true started with a single person deciding, I can do this, even if no one else sees it yet. You have to be that person for yourself. There will be days when you feel invisible. Days when nobody notices your effort, when nobody understands your struggle, when nobody cares how hard you can try. Those days are the test. Those days are where self-belief is built. You don't develop strength when life is easy. You develop it when you keep going despite the silence, despite the loneliness, despite the doubt. When you work in the dark with no applause, you learn to clap for yourself. When you move forward without encouragement, you learn that confidence does not come from outside. It comes from within. People will talk about you no matter what you do. If you quit, they will criticize. If you try, they will judge. If you succeed, they will envy. So stop trying to be liked and start trying to be great. You don't need everyone to understand your journey. You don't need everyone to agree with your choices. You don't need everyone to cheer for your dreams. Some of the most powerful people in history were doubted, laughed at, rejected, and ignored. Their success didn't come because everyone believed in them. It came because they believed in themselves long enough for the world to catch up. You don't need a crowd to validate you. You don't need approval to begin. You don't need permission to grow. If something in your heart tells you this is your path, listen to it. You have been given dreams for a reason. You have been given talent, potential, ideas, goals, and gifts that no one else has. The world may not see it yet, but you do. And that is enough to start small, start scared, start alone, but start. The path will not feel easy. It will not always feel exciting. But every step you take builds belief. Every action you take builds confidence. Your future self is watching you, asking, will you fight for me? Will you not give up on me just because others don't see my worth? One day, the world will notice. One day, the people who doubted you will pretend they always supported you. One day, the people who ignored you will ask how they can join you. And you will remember that you survive without their belief. You will remember the only person who never abandoned you was you. You will realize your success was not an accident. It was the result of self-belief, self-discipline, and self-trust. So protect your dream. Protect your mindset. Protect your belief. It is not the world's approval that creates success. It is the courage to believe in yourself before anyone else does. When you have that, you become unstoppable. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need yourself. There is a life you dream about, one where you are proud of who you are, one where you wake up excited, one where you don't have to apologize for wanting more. Deep inside you, there is a vision of the person you want to become. And whether you admit it or bury it, that version of you is real. That version is possible. That version is waiting. But you will never meet that version if you settle for what is easy instead of what is right. You owe yourself more than a life of regret. You owe yourself the life you dream about. Too many people believe they must ask permission to grow. They worry about what others will say if they change, if they try, if they fail, if they succeed. But you were not born to stay the same. Growth is your responsibility. Your dreams will not chase you. You must chase them. The future you want will not appear out of nowhere. It will come from the choices you make daily, the habits you build, the risks you take, the discipline you practice, the sacrifices you are willing to endure. Nobody can give you that life. It has to come from you. You owe it to yourself to stop wasting time on things that don't matter. Every hour spent scrolling, comparing, complaining is an hour stolen from your destiny. Every time you say, I'll start tomorrow, you delay a future that could change everything. Time will pass anyway. The question is, will you let it pass while standing still, or will you use it to build the life you dream about? You are not stuck. You are not too late. You are not too old. You are simply one decision away from a different life. There will be days when chasing your dreams feels lonely. Days when no one understands your hustle. Days when you question whether your effort is worth it. But if you quit, you will spend the rest of your life wondering what you could have been. If you settle, you will live with the pain of knowing you betrayed yourself. The regrets of what if are far heavier than the weight of hard work. You owe yourself the chance to see what your life looks like when you give everything you have instead of giving up. Do not let fear stop you. Fear will always tell you it's too risky. Fear will always whisper that you are not ready. But courage only exists in the presence of fear. Courage means you keep moving despite the shaking hands, the pounding heart, the uncertainty of the future. Your dream deserves courage. Your future deserves effort. Your life deserves a full power version of you, not the version that hides, doubts, and waits. You owe yourself peace. You owe yourself happiness. You owe yourself success. That does not mean life will be fair. It will not always be kind. But you have survived every bad day so far. You have overcome storms that once felt impossible. You have broken through pain that could have destroyed you. There is strength inside you that you don't even see because you're too focused on how far you still have to go instead of how far you've already come. One day, you will look back on the moments you wanted to quit and realize those were the moments that built you. One day, you will stand in the life you once prayed for and smile because you didn't give up. One day, you will thank yourself for believing, for trying, for fighting, for refusing to settle. The dream is not impossible. You just cannot stop. You owe it to yourself to become someone you are proud of. You owe it to yourself to live a life that makes you feel alive. The life you dream about is waiting, and it has your name on it.